And just like that, Judas Priest is back to being a five-piece. Apparently, the blowback that they got from the press and the fans about touring as a four-piece, they've changed their mind. I mean, what was it, a week, 10 days ago, as of making this video, that they announced that they were going to tour as a four-piece and not bring Andy Sneap out on the road with them. And pretty much not really anybody liked the idea. Everyone was puzzled, confused, angry, and they've changed their mind. They've announced that Andy Sneap will be back touring with the band. That's a good thing, I guess. You know, Judas Priest, you can see the other video that I made on this subject of them as a four-piece. But honestly, it really makes them sound like a amateur Mickey Mouse operation that they're gonna, if you're gonna announce something like this. So now it makes us wonder, what were your motivations initially with this? I mean, if it was musical, and as I talked about in my other video, that maybe you were gonna continue as a four-piece in the future, why would you be so easily strayed to go back to the five-piece thing? If it was something to do with Andy Sneap, like you were unhappy with him, if I was Andy right now, I would be like, guys, what the heck? You were so quick to throw him to the side, and now you just call him back. I mean, if I were him, I'd want to have a conversation like, why didn't you originally ask me to do this? Does it have something, were they unhappy with his playing? And if it was a money issue, well, it must not have been that serious of a money issue because you're bringing him back. You know, if it was like some really hard line, the accountant sat down and said, guys, whoa, you cannot tour as a five-piece, which is ridiculous. I don't believe that. But let's just say, in a strange world, their accountants came to them and said, you can't afford to have two guitar players. Well, okay, what has changed since then? Or were you just being greedy with the money? You wanted to take extra money at the expense of Judas Priest has always been a five-piece. Yes, I know there was, since their first album has come out, they have been a five-piece. There was probably some point when they were, before they released anything, that maybe they were briefly a four-piece. But from the moment of their first album to now, they've been a five-piece. So all of a sudden, that changes for money reasons. And apparently it wasn't that much of a money reason because you were able to bring Andy back. So what the heck? It just seems so amateur hour that they would do this. It's sort of embarrassing, honestly, that a band at this level, there must have been discussions and meetings, and now KK Downing, what in the world is he thinking? Is he just laughing at this point? I mean, it makes it seem like they don't know what they're doing, or that they didn't put that much thought into this initial decision. And all of a sudden they get some blowback from the fans and the media, and they changed their minds. I mean, I guess in the end it's for the better. Judas Priest should be a five-piece. It will be for the betterment of the sound of the band. But man, just guys, what are you doing? I mean, if there's a moral to this for them, it's just they need to think through their decisions like this more before they go ahead with it. It makes it feel like they just casually, frivolously made this decision to go as a four-piece, and then it's like, oh, people are upset about it? I guess we didn't expect anybody to be upset about it. I guess we should go back. It's so strange, and it puts a weird thing over the whole thing. It's so bizarre. In the end, I guess I'm happy that they're back as a five-piece, but guys, this is just, you're one of the greatest metal bands of all time. You know, this type of thing shouldn't be happening in a prestigious, legacy, well-respected band like Judas Priest. So, all right, there you go. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And until we see you again, make sure you rock hard, ride free. And one other thought. Now, this is just a spontaneous video here. That's why it's so off the cuff and not the usual thing here. If Judas Priest, you know, the fans felt like they were being ripped off in some ways. The recordings have two guitar players on them. Judas Priest has always been two guitars since Rock-A-Rolla, the first album. The fans felt like they were being ripped off. You didn't think of this, that you're going to charge people for Judas Priest, and it's not really going to be full Judas Priest. Now, if they put out an album with one guitar and then they toured playing songs for that album with one guitar, okay. But this again, people are paying for Judas Priest, and these songs contain two guitar players, all the songs that you're playing. It's not a situation like when, you know, when Richie had his Hard thing. If they had gone as a four-piece after that and said, look, we're just going to try to finish these tour dates, this is a medical emergency, the fans would have understood that. But this is, you know, the fans expect Priest as a two-guitar thing. You didn't think of that? And then once everybody told you, hey, if I'm paying to see Judas Priest, I want two guitars. I want Judas Priest. You just realized that? What the heck? You know, come on. They should have been more in touch and should have known better that what their fans would have wanted and how their fans would have reacted to this. All right, so there's just a little add-on to this thing. Rock hard, ride free, stay heavy, stay metal. Let me know what you think in the comments.